What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp. Today we have a bit of an interesting and fun video for you guys. Hopefully it works out, although it probably will if you're seeing this. I picked up a $10 graphics card from eBay. This is the Sapphire HD 3870 GPU. Like I said, got it for $10 and it came out in 2007, so 10 years old. We're gonna hook it up to our PC, see if it works, what kind of games we can play, what kind of FPS we're getting. I think it should be a bit of a fun one. So taking a look at it, it definitely looks dated as well. And in just 10 years from when this was released, you could tell graphics cards nowadays look much better. So on the back for connectivity, we have no HDMI or display ports, but two DVIs. I have a DVI to HDMI connector, so that'll help us out. But alright, we'll plug this in and see if this $10 graphics card even works, or what we can play with it. Who knows? Alright, so we're going to be using this in my repurposed Revolt 2 PC. Sure you're all familiar with this, but what I did was just swap the components with the budget PC build we did a week or so on the channel. It has 8 gigs of RAM inside and the Intel G4560 CPU. So we'll get it hooked up. It's got a 6-pin power connector here in the front of the card, and we have a Lara Croft wannabe. So let's get it going. Alright, so the moment of truth, we have it all plugged in. Got the PCIe connector powered up. Let's see. It's spinning, kind of loud, sounds like a jet engine. Anything yet? Yep, keep on revving up. Let's see. Are we working? Whoa, okay, there we go. We're in business. Did not think this was gonna power up. You know, for $10 on eBay, people often will just sell things for like that cheap if it doesn't work. You know, just people don't want to go through the hassle of returning it. So, did not have high hopes for this. Even though she's a Tomb Raider impersonator, I'm liking my chances. Alright, so this is good. First off, the thing won't shut up. Very loud. But it's definitely dated because, you know, it supports Windows XP for the drivers, Vista, 7, 8, definitely no 10. So we're going to have to go with the latest Windows 8 drivers and hope this works, because everything looks just like garbage. Yep, last update here, 2013. This is great. All right, so the first thing we're gonna boot up here is gonna be CSGO. Now the issue is the really only resolution this graphics card with this monitor combination supports is 1280 by 800, or else it just freaks out. So this is what we're gonna have to roll with. I know it's not optimal at all. I probably should just get an old 1080p monitor and have it on hand. But we're gonna play some Counter-Strike and see how this card handles it. Oh, someone's got a knife. The second we join in, someone gets the golden knife. Don't you love when it does that? All right, so we're in a fresh match here, and a few things off the bat. Yes, this is not how I usually record gameplay and show stuff off on the channel, but since this whole combination here, we were having problems getting fraps and anything loaded up, so we're going with the old school style, just recording off the screen, but we're have to deal with that. Alright, so I do have everything on the highest setting it can go. I believe it's like very high and high, some of the presets are. And it honestly doesn't look too bad. If it wasn't for this atrocious resolution on the ultra-wide monitor, it would probably look a little bit better. You can definitely tell some of the textures are compressed and stuff like that. But honestly, it runs pretty fine, I'd say, for the most part. Can't really tell there's like really no big hiccups or any noticeable lag. I wish it did have fraps up, that way we could see what kind of frames we're getting, but it handles CSGO pretty damn fine. Okay, so I know this game came out in 2012, and it's not the most, you know, graphically intensive game out there. It's more so fit for it to be an esports type game where it can run on multiple types of systems and at graphic settings, so it's not really going to be one of those games where testing a GPU is going to be effective, but I just want to see how this would run on it, and I don't have a problem with it. My skills, though, are a different story. We're doing horrible. Alright, so my final kind of wrap up as this match ends is I would say we're probably getting close to around probably 25 frames. And even at that lower, what is it, 1280 by 800 resolution, it's not good. Obviously you want better FPS for a competitive game like this, but I mean at least it ran it. Alright, so next up we're going to play some Doom. This is definitely a more graphically intensive game. But never mind, we are not going to play Doom. Fatal error. Yeah. Alright. Nope. Sorry. All right, so now we're testing out Overwatch. And this is another one of those games that is made to be very friendly when it comes to, trying it out on different builds and GPUs and stuff like that. And it's a very nice looking game. Not too sure how it's gonna run though. Let's see. So the graphics quality is automatically set to low. Just for, just want to try it out real quick. I'm gonna put it on epic and see what happens. Is this supposed to be in slow motion, or is this just how bad it's running? I think it's supposed to be in slow motion. Oh, we're barely even hitting like 15 frames, even on the loading screen and the menus. This is gonna be really bad. Oh, this is gonna be horrible. Wow. We are probably getting about 5 FPS. This is really bad. Definitely gonna have to lower those settings down and probably have to reboot it because this is just unplayable. All right, so we're back in here on the low settings now, and right off the bat, it is much more fluid and way smoother, which is definitely good. Epic was just not gonna get it done. I would have to say we're getting anywhere from around 45 to 55 FPS, which is a big improvement. Definitely more playable, but still, even at this graphical settings, it wouldn't be ideal to be playing this in a competitive setting at all. But like I said, if I had to take an estimated guess, that would probably around 50 to 55. I really wish I can just get Fraps or MSI Afterburner to load up, because I just want to know what frames we're actually getting, but everything crashes the second we boot it up. All right, we got that W with the 3870. Okay, now we had to boot up GTA 5. All right, we had to do it. This we can actually run a benchmark for and see what kind of settings we get. My favorite thing here is that the video memory is maxed out at 512 megabytes. And not touching anything, we're already at almost 2,000. Well, let's just run a benchmark and see what the hell happens. If the PC explodes, we'll know it was a bad idea. Oh yeah, a nice 20 to 22. Down to 16, 9. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected here. Let's run it all through. Now, in some scenes, we're doing pretty decent. Like this one, we've been hovering around 25 to 30. The last scene, we were up also around, like I'd say 25. And what's funny is, since this GPU came out in 2007, that's around the time the Xbox 360 launched. And when you figure this game was one of the last big titles on the 360, this honestly, if you're looking at this right now, this is kind of how it was on the 360. Well, now this is pretty bad. This is definitely more like PS2 quality. This is getting butchered here. This last benchmark where you're driving through the city and things are actually happening, this one is making it suffer pretty bad. The highest we've seen so far is around like 19 to 20 frames here. This is where it gets ugly. All right, so just crunch those benchmark numbers, and you can see here for those middle three, we got around 25 FPS, but all 5 of the scenes together, we got 22.9 FPS for those 5 scenes combined for the benchmarks. And that's about right, I'd say around 22 frames. Right now, we're probably getting much, much lower once things are actually happening. But this really does look like, I would say maybe even GTA 3 on like the PS2. Even though this game came out, 2013 and was released in like 2015 on PC. It's running better, honestly, than I expected. I thought it was gonna kind of be like Doom and just crash. Even though right now we're getting probably like 10 FPS, it's still running. It's not smooth at all, but hey, I mean, it's a 10-year-old GPU. It's doing better than I expected, honestly. Driving is easy as it is in this game, but once you throw in like 10 FPS, it's game over. Oh, this is so laggy. No, it's a head-on collision. I'd be dead. All right, let's try something new. Lastly, I want to round it out here with PubG, because this game is horribly optimized as it is. It can barely run on newer GPUs, so I want to see how it could run if we play it on a GPU from 10 years ago. Should definitely be fun, pretty interesting. I don't expect us to get anything or anywhere. What is this? Your application is built to load cooked content. No cooked content was found. Alternatively, build and run the uncooked version instead. I have no idea what this means. I don't know what cooked and uncooked. I know they're not talking about the chicken dinners in the game. Well, that's a bummer. Apparently, between the difference of cooking and uncooking content in a game, I have no idea what that means. Was definitely looking forward to playing this game with that 10-year-old GPU with 3870, but from the looks of this bizarre message, we are not going to be able to play it or run it at all. That's a bummer. But I guess it's fitting for this ending of the video, you know? Damn. All right, well, as you saw, the $10 10-year-old HD 3870 GPU, I mean, for the most part, I think held up well. Like I said, I put it with my repurposed budget PC with the G4560 CPU. So for $10 and a very budget build, yes, it ran games like Overwatch and CSGO at the lowest settings with a decent frame rate, but anything, you know, like modern or current that is not, you know, made for esports, we can run it on pretty much anything. Either doesn't load or it runs horrible like we saw in GTA 5. That was definitely a bummer. I wish we could have booted up Doom and PubG, see how it went, but obviously there's gonna be some compatibility issues when you have a 10-year-old GPU that drivers don't even really support anymore. And that was the biggest thing all across the board. Like, I wanted to boot up Fraps and even something like MSI Afterburner so I could see what kind of frames we were getting, but everything would either crash or would just stop working immediately, and it's just a bunch of compatibility issues. And also, the resolution on the ultra-wide monitor was not made for that to look good at all. I should just pick up an older monitor or something so we don't have to go through that again. But running it at 1280 by 800 for the most part looked okay. I think for the most part, it looked like we were playing 10-year-old games for a 10-year-old GPU. But for $10, guys, it was definitely interesting. Cool little project. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Well, I'm Random Frank P. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.